Hello, my name is Teresa. I'm a comic artist and illustrator, and today I'm here to give you my top tips to finding commissions online so you can make some money with your art. The first thing that I'm gonna differentiate here is two paths to making money with your art. You have path A, which is the influencer path, and the idea here is that you build a following and a personal brand, and then you sell products or services by simply telling your fan base that your products and services are available. Then you have the other path, which is the employee path, where you build a portfolio and references from previous jobs, and then you apply for jobs. If your choice is the influencer path, I cannot help you. This video is for employees only, because that is the path I have chosen, given that I do not have the required charisma score to be an influencer. So with that out of the way, let me give you my 3-step process to finding commissions online as an employee. Step 1 is finding a niche. In order to find good commissions, you need to build a portfolio that shows potential employees that you are the right choice for that particular project. And in order to do this, you need to find your niche, which is an internet art corner that you love and that has a decent trickle of job opportunities. This can be hard at first, and it can take some time and a lot of trial and error, but maybe you can use the concept of Ikigai to help you make some of these initial decisions. Ikigai is basically this Japanese simplification of finding purpose in life, and it defines purpose as a place where 4 things meet. First, you have what you love, then what you are good at, then what you can be paid for, and finally, what the world needs. I know it sounds very deep, and it can be, but here's how I filled it for my current niche. So as you can see, it doesn't have to be that deep, because all I define is that I like role-playing, and I'm good at making character art, and I have no idea what the world wants, but I do know that people will pay for their characters to be drawn. Also, bear in mind that you are not married to this niche. I still make money doing indie comics for writers, and those jobs are good, but they are few and far between, and D&D art happens more often, and this fills the gaps in between the comic jobs. So it's a good breaking of the pace, and I enjoy having several niche going. In short, to start, you find one niche, you give it a go, you see if you like it, and then you prepare your portfolio for it so that you can apply to these jobs, showing these potential employers, hey, I make a lot of this art, this is how it looks when I do it, you can rely on me, you can count on me, I'm not just a randomer that is going to scam you online. Because that is the main thing you want to do with your portfolio and your personal presentation. You want to make sure that people feel safe giving you their money so you can make art for them. Step 2, you join the niche. In order to join an internet niche effectively, you need 2 things. First of all, you need a suitable portfolio, and secondly, a place to hang out. The portfolio building, in my opinion, can be one of the most fun parts of the process. All you need to do is start making art for yourself and maybe for your friends as well. Art, of course, that fits this niche. In my case, I started making art for my D&D players, designing their characters as if they were clients. This led me to the realization that I do enjoy listening to people's ideas for their characters. It also led me to the creation of a very streamlined process for creating these characters, and that has made my life and the life of my clients a lot easier. I did this exact same thing when I was trying to get my foot into the indie comics door. I made my own webcomic. I also joined anthologies and collaborated with friends. And as a result, I now have hundreds of comic pages for my portfolio, and I've made a bunch of friends in the process. The second part, the joining the niche thing, can be a little bit trickier. You need to find places where people go looking for commissions in your particular niche. I personally find Reddit, Facebook, Craigslist, and Twitter to be the most effective. Now, you might be thinking that these are not the best social media platforms, and it is true. These 4 places do not have the most users and may not be the healthiest places to hang around. However, these 4 places have things in common. Number 1, they have an older average user base, which means that these people using these platforms are far more likely to have disposable income to spend on commission, which is exactly what you want. And secondly, the general toxicity of people in these platforms means that good communities are heavily moderated and controlled, which is great because that helps you avoid scammers. But once again, finding these well-moderated communities that cater to your niche is a bit of work. But it is also a lot of fun, like the portfolio building. I personally love discussing comics and role-playing games, so if my next item on my to-do list is to find people that are talking about the things that I love and hang out with them, I'm happy to do it. Expanding your knowledge and involvement in your niche should be fun, in my opinion. After all, this is something you love, right? And it's an online community. You're supposed to be enjoying hanging out with people that love the same thing you love, right? However, it is true that some people are a little bit shy and maybe they're afraid of interacting with strangers. So here's a couple of generic places on Facebook and Reddit that you can start in and then expand from there. First, you have Hungry Artist on Reddit. This is where I do my daily keyword search, which is hiring. And then I look for jobs until I find one that fits my interest and my skills. And then I have on Facebook Connected Comic Book Writers, which is, it doesn't have a lot of job postings, but it's like a gateway community because it's a really big one. And then Facebook will start saying, hey, have you tried this other one? And you're like, oh no, I haven't, I will. After you have found these places, make sure you do not spam or bother people. Make sure that you check these places for jobs every day and that you only apply to the ones that you actually are a good fit for. Also, hang out in general in these places. I've made some good friends in these niche communities, and some of these friends have ended up giving me jobs or recommending me for jobs. So don't be too focused on the job posting. Don't be so materialistic about it, and try to be a real member of these niche communities because it's fun and it bears fruit in the long run. Step number 3 is apply. The last step is pretty straightforward. You simply scan these communities that you found every day for job postings, and then you apply to the ones that you're interested in. When applying to these jobs, there are a few things that you need to consider. First, you need to ask yourself if this is the right job for you. Different projects require different levels of skill and different budgets. And if a project does not fit your budget or your level of skill, don't apply. Because you're wasting your time and the commissioner's time by applying. Secondly, beware of red flags, please. If a person posting a job doesn't seem trustworthy to you, don't get involved. This is something that you will learn to spot with practice, and I could make a whole video just on these red flags that I found. But for now, just bear in mind that just as people hiring artists get scammed by fake artists, artists get scammed by fake employers too. The biggest, most obvious red flag to me are two. The first one is sob stories and the second one is entitlement. A real client comes to you with a project, a deadline, and a budget. A scammer comes to you with a fake sob story to appeal to your good side and lots of excuses of why they can't pay you. Scammers are also prone to being condescending or entitled. They will say things like, oh, this is an easy job, don't worry, you'll do it in a minute, or it will take no time. Or my favorite one, which I hear a lot, is like, I would do it myself, but I can't and they tell you their sob story or their life story. Doing work for free is okay, and it's something you should do for people you already know and trust, but it should always be on your own terms, not on a stranger online's terms. Nobody, and especially no stranger online coming to you, is entitled to your labor or your time, period. And that is it. That's the whole process. Portfolio, niche community, applications. Let me know if you have any further questions, and please remember, it may take a few days or a few weeks to get your first commissions, but if you continue to improve your portfolio, if you continue to explore your niche and to apply for jobs that suit you, you'll start finding jobs and you will gain clients that will stick with you for a while. Just trust the process, don't let the wave of rejection and ghosting affect you, and always deliver your best work for your clients. And that's it. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, I hope you're right. Bye bye.